Hi everyone. Today's mini lesson comes from 2.5, Solving Inequalities with Integers. I'm first starting by emphasizing our new rule for this lesson, and that's if we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, we are going to flip the sign. And what that means is if we have an inverse operation of multiplication or division, we have to flip the inequality symbol if the negative number is the one we're moving. And that's a little tricky, but it has to be the one that we're moving. You must flip the sign. That does not happen with addition and subtraction, only with multiplication and division. Let me show you what I mean when we go through the following examples. So we're going to solve these inequalities like normal. So inverse operation, I'm going to subtract 11. And I get 7. Now, on my next step here, you'd say, okay, Mrs. Nettles, we're going to divide by negative 7, and you'd be right. An alarm should go off in your head. Oh my goodness, I'm dividing by a negative. It's the number that you're actually bringing over that you're dividing by is negative. And we are going to flip the sign. So instead of having a less than, it's going to be greater than. We're literally changing which side is bigger and which side is smaller by dividing by a negative. So 7 divided by negative 7 is going to be negative 1, and then we are going to graph. And I like to do, so negative 1, what's a little bigger than negative 1 is 0, and a little smaller than negative 1 is negative 2. And open or close circle, you would say open because it's greater than, and not equal to, so it does not include negative 1 as an answer. And what numbers are bigger than negative 1? Well, 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. All right, next example I know typically scares people, so I don't want it to be scary. The variable is just simply on the right-hand side. That's okay. You can either read it backwards at the end or flip it over if you'd like to at the beginning. I'm going to treat it like normal right now so that you get used to seeing these, because in 8th grade you're going to see them all the time. I'm going to do the opposite operation. I'm going to add 5. 29 plus 5, 34. And then I have 34 is less than or equal to 2d, divide by 2. Now, did I divide or multiply by a negative at all? No. So I'm not going to flip the sign here. But I am going to erase this mistake number 2. So 34 divided by 2, 17. And I'm going to flip this in general just so you can see it a different direction so you can read it better. D is greater than or equal to 17. So I'm going to have 17, a little bit bigger than 17, 18, and a little bit smaller than 17, 16. Close circle because it's or equal to and greater than 18, 19 would be the bigger numbers. Okay, on the next example, I see a negative, negative. So minus a minus, that turns into a giant plus sign. So I have negative 2c. I just had to clean that up first because when I see two negatives together, I need to clean it up, make it a plus sign. And now I can restart. It's a normal two-step inequality now. Subtract the 3. 12. Negative 2c is still on the left-hand side. Now I'm going to divide by negative 2. And this is where an alarm should go off in your head. And you're noticing that, hey, I'm dividing by a negative. I am changing where the positives and negatives are. So I'm going to flip the sign. Instead of being less than, it's going to be greater than. 12 divided by negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6, a little bit bigger than negative 6 is negative 5. And a little bit smaller than negative 6 is negative 7. Open or close circle, it's going to be open because it's not or equal to, which means it does not include, and greater than the numbers that are bigger than negative 6, such as negative 5, negative 4, and so on.